As we come to a close and I start to discuss the last domain, which is the eighth domain that we work with children, is physical development and health. So that means we're talking about health and well-being. We're talking about gross motor skills. We're talking about fine motor skills. So when you're thinking about physical development, there's so many components that are important to discuss. And what I want to zoom in on is the importance of how fine motor skills and gross motor skills work closely together and how they help in growth and development in children. So when you look at infants, for example, they are learning their gross motor skills as well as their fine motor skills. And it starts very early in their development, as early as tummy time. So in preschool environments, it's very important that you have tummy time. So the purpose of tummy time is to develop the neck, the strength in the neck. The child is then able to lift up their neck, raise up their body. When you're holding a baby, a newborn, right away, within a couple of weeks, they're holding their head up, they're trying to look to the left, to the right. Those are all excellent developmental skills. And so as a preschool here at the Vine Preschool, we want to make sure that we create an environment that continues to help them progress, continues to help them grow. So we'll have tummy time on a regular basis throughout the day. We make sure that the children have ample time on the floor, because having all that time on the floor allows them to start to roll over, start to turn over. And once they turn over, then they're working on crawling. And we want to make sure that we guide them in this process. So if it means, raising up their hips, moving their knees a little bit, it'll get them into the process, because usually when a child starts to crawl, they crawl backwards. That's kind of like they just naturally do that. But when you give them an object to reach for, they will start to express interest and they'll try to move forward. Even as early as infancy, you want to even give them objects to grasp. Obviously, eventually they hold their bottle, and they even put their fingers in their mouth. They discover their fingers. They use pacifiers. So those are all the ways that we have physical development in infants. And of course, you can't walk and then you have to walk before you run, and you can't jump on one foot or hop on one foot until you master jumping with both feet. So obviously we want to make sure that the environment that we provide is one that encourages these types of growth and developmental milestones. And then so gross motor skills are large motor, and then your fine motor skills are things that we do with our hands. And so we encourage that here at the Vine Preschool by giving children activities that strengthen their fine motor skills. Puzzles, Play-Doh, sensory activities, lacing beads. Those types of activities strengthen the fingers, and children are not able to start cutting with scissors at almost 3 years old until they have the motor skills, the fine motor skills, the small motor skills, and the strength in their fingers. And that starts with the coloring. That starts with, painting. They can't have a good wrist stroke without having practiced painting. And they're not going to paint just with brushes. They're going to paint with their fingers, and they're going to make shapes and designs using their fingers. And that's all a part of the process. So we want to make sure that we provide that for the children. And then health and well-being. We want them, eventually it goes from that to, like the bottles, to feeding themselves, to, first they're feeding it with their hands, then they're using utensils, and then they're drinking from a sippy cup, then they're drinking from an open cup. All of those are so crucial to their motor development, and it's a neurological functioning that's essential, to their development. Also, here we want to make sure at the Vine Preschool that the children are we foster independence. So that means, learning how to put on your coat when it's time to go outside, learning how to pull up and down your pants as you learn to potty train, how to manipulate buttons and zippers. Children are not going to be able to zip until they're able to have strength in their fingers. So if we do nothing to encourage that fine motor skill development, how are they going to be able to later zip up their jackets or button their clothes or tie their shoelaces as they get ready for kindergarten? So all of those things are important to their growth and development. And physical development and health is just as important as any other domain. And like I said, I can't say enough that all of the domains are important. And, we can't teach one without the other. And when they learn one skill, they're learning all of the domains together. So we just want you to know here at the Vine Preschool that that is what we do. And our curriculum is all about that high scope perspective that helps us to understand that there are domains of development. And what's so awesome about our Hi Mama software app, parent engagement software, is it is already in the application for this state, so that we can say, you know what, when they're outside playing and jumping on the slides, they're mastering certain skills in their physical development and health. They're mastering social skills and development on the playground. And so we want you to know that we are so in tune to the development of your whole child. It is crucial that we send your children out into the world of kindergarten fully prepared. And again, we will just, in closing, just reiterate all of the domains. And so again, the domains are social emotional development, approaches to learning. It is language and literacy, cognition and general knowledge, which includes mathematics, which includes science and social studies. And then we move on to fine arts, and then we move on to physical development and health. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. I will be posting more information and videos about early childhood development, parenting, teaching, and just thank you so much. And of course, I thank you for choosing to learn more about the Vine Preschool. And I look forward to meeting you. And I look forward to having your child enrolled here with us, because teaching your child is what we are here to do. And helping your child have a learning rich environment is what the Vine Preschool is here for. So take care until next time. Bye-bye.